To start 2021, Xiaomi dropped two phones on their roster. And this is the Redmi Note 9T and of course, the one in my hand, the Redmi 9T. So the Redmi Note 9T won't be available here in the Philippines and this one would be available. And guess what? Just a little bit trivia for all of you. This is almost the same as that of the Poco M3. So how similar are they? Come on, let's find it out in this video. So hi guys, I'm Mitch002 of Xiaomi Review and finally we've just unboxed the Redmi 9T. And here in my hand is the twilight blue color. We have the 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage in this phone. Okay, to start things off, let's talk about the processor on this phone. It has a Snapdragon 662, which is an 11nm processor. It's the same as that of the Poco M3. It's coupled with the Adreno 610 as its main GPU. Now this phone comes in two variants. Either you go for the 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage, which is a UFS 2.1 read and write speed, or the other one is the 4 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage, which has a UFS 2.2 read and write speed. So one of my favorite gauge to check if the speed of this phone is to, as of course, Antutu benchmark. So it gave it 182,000 points, which is a, well, almost the same score that I got from my Poco M3 review. Now checking other benchmark on 3D Mark, it gave it 1,179 on the Slingshot Extreme, 89,000 points over at i22 benchmark, and of course a level 1 wideband security level on this phone, which means hello HD on Netflix. Right now, let's talk a little bit more on the screen of this phone. It has a 6.53 IPS LCD 1080p resolution, which is the same as that of the Poco M3. Now, it also has a Corning Gorilla Glass strip protection, then of course plastic frames and the plastic back, also the same as that of the M3. Now, taking a quick look on this phone, swiping left and right, it's really a breeze. This one, it's better than the Poco M3, which I can feel some lags on its UI. I'm not quite sure why, but this one feels a lot more smoother. Probably they have improved the UI on this phone. Maybe they took away the ads on this phone as well. Now, watching movies on this phone is really a breeze. I can say that this screen is nice, though I don't really like that teardrop notch on this phone, which is a little bit big, and yeah, doesn't really look nice for me. Of course, that's just my opinion. And the resolution is nice, and I can set 1080p on my YouTube, and yeah, it's giving me a good experience, especially when I have a stereo surround sound on the both loudspeaker. It's really nice. While we're still talking about the screen, let's check the refresh rate on this phone. It gave it a 60 Hz screen refresh rate while I'm checking the refresh rate checker app on this phone. Now, this is probably the only legit way on checking the refresh rate of the phone. Well, some other bloggers claim that based on their eyes, you can see the refresh rate of the phone, if it's fast or it's slow. I don't think I could agree on that. Now, let's move on and talk about the camera. This phone has a 48MP quad camera setup and an aperture of 1.8. This is the same as the Poco M3, except the next one, which I'm going to tell you, is the difference with the Poco M3. This has an 8MP ultra wide sensor, which the Poco M3 doesn't have. The rest is the same: 2MP macro lens, 2MP depth sensor, and can record up to 1080p 30fps video. Up front, we have the 8MP shooter with an aperture of 2.1, and it also can shoot up to 1080p and 30fps. Then, of course, right now we want to try and take a look at some photos on this phone. Now, I can say the photo that I've taken using the rear camera outdoors is really something. I can say that probably it's a little bit step up over from the M3. Then taking some low light shots on this phone, I can say that it's pretty decent. Probably I can say it also is a little bit improvement over from the Poco M3. Now, taking some photos using the selfie camera, let's check it out. Well, I can say that some of these photos is nice. The outdoors, bright sunlight is also nice, and of course, taking some low light shot, it's still decent. But when you try to take some night shots using the front camera, well, it's grainy. Now, taking some videos using the rear camera, let's check it out. Okay, taking some 1080p 30fps video using this phone with my bare hand, just like this one, I can say it's pretty nice. Well, it's a little bit jittery, and well, I can blame it. It's something to be called below mid-range, and having a decent video like this one, I can say it's not bad at all. Now let's see some videos from the selfie camera. Hey guys, it's me, Mitch002 of Xiaomi Review, and right now I'm holding the Redmi 9T, and this is how it looks like when you're vlogging using the front camera. Let's take a spin. Well, not really that bad, but of course, when I hit some places like this, it's quite dark. Well, the lighting, yeah, the camera is gonna have a little hard time adjusting to the lightings. Well, I can say the resolution is nice. Well, there's no doubt about it. But of course, it's jittery. It gives me a headache while watching this video. Well, probably you can use some gimbal to improve the stability of this video. And this phone has a FM radio together with a Bluetooth 5.0. It also has a side fingerprint scanner which is very accessible. Though I can say that it's a little bit slow in response. Check it out. Well, it responds probably roughly 0.5 seconds late compared to other phones that we have tested from Xiaomi. Now, how can we forget to play a game on this phone? Let's check Call of Duty, one of my favorite games. We can set some high settings on this game. I can say that the gameplay is nice. Okay, so playing this game is good, especially when you have stereo surround sounds firing from the top and the bottom of your screen. Then, of course, gameplay is nice. I cannot say anything bad about it, though I can feel some frame drops from time to time. It's really not possible to eliminate all those frame drops from this game. Now, checking Genshin Impact, which is a more graphic intense game, I can say that it's still nice, though there are time to time I can feel some lags, which is more frequent compared to that of the Call of Duty. Then, of course, playing ML and also playing PUBG is just a breeze on this phone. Now, this phone has a 6,000 mAh of battery, which is massive, same as the Poco M3. It can also support up to 18 watts of fast charging. Then also, it can give you a 2.5 watts of reverse charging, meaning you can charge phones of others in case of emergency. Now, I tried to drain this battery down to 10%. Then charge it using the default cable and the default charger supplied from this box. It gave me a 19.5 watts, probably the maximum that I've gotten from this charging. Then it took me 2 hours and 35 minutes, which is quite long. For charging a 6,000 mAh, of course, it's quite massive. I'm more used to charging it within 2 hours, less than 2 hours, but given that it's a 6,000 mAh of battery, well, charging longer is pretty normal. Now, we tried a battery stress test on this phone. So using PCMark battery stress test, then we set it to 50% brightness, then let it run overnight. And guess what? It gave it a 19 hours of battery screen on time, which is a nice rating from this phone. It's very battery efficient, which probably something that I want on a smartphone. A long-lasting battery. And this phone comes in 4 colors. We have the carbon gray, the twilight blue, the sunrise orange, and the ocean green. Now, which one is your favorite? Now, we have come down to my verdict on this phone. I can say that it's almost the same as the Poco M3, except there are 2 things that has improved a lot on this phone. One, there is no ads. Well, as far as I'm concerned, I have yet to see an ad pop up while I'm installing, while I'm playing, while I'm using the phone. And second, the UI is a lot smoother. Probably they have adjusted and probably deck out the ads and probably makes sense. It's a lot faster right now. Adding the 8MP ultra wide sensor is not really a big deal for me, but it's nice to have. So what do you think about this phone? The Redmi 9T. I can say that it's really nice. The price is right, and of course, the performance is not bad. Though I can say that probably the Redmi Note 9T could have been a lot better than this one. But of course, if your budget constraint is something within this budget, well, I can really highly recommend this phone to you. The Redmi 9T is really a performer, the battery is good, the camera is not bad, and of course the performance on this phone is really not bad. So what can you say about this phone? Drop me a comment and let's talk about it. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And of course, click that bell icon so you don't miss any of my future review here in my channel. So I hope to see you in my next video. Goodbye and stay safe.